Hello, today we're going to talk about a new movie. Today, we're going to talk about the movie La Noire, translated to Black Girl. It was made in 1962 and directed by Ousmane Sembène. I don't know if I said that right, but he is a very important figure in African cinema. He is a early starter. He's a pioneer of it. He laid around a lot of the groundwork, a lot of films to start up African cinema, and he helped get it to where it is today. He's very important, and he's a very revolutionary figure in that field. This movie specifically, I'm gonna get straight to it. Black Girl was made in 1962. It talks about a lot of post-colonial struggles, but specifically in this movie between the African country of Dakar, and France. And it's a lot about post-colonial struggles and the issues that Africans face in this post-colonial world. A lot of the themes include exploitation, racism, gender inequality, civil disobedience. Not necessarily a theme, but imprisonment, free will, freedom, and so on and so forth. I'm going to talk about exploitation and racism. I'm going to talk about how they're shown in this film and how they interact with the film and the characters. And I'm going to give a bit of a critique at the end about this film in general and the themes that it shows. So exploitation, we see this immediately with the character Madame and our main character Diona. So Diona is working for them in Dakar, and then Madame and her husband want to return back to France and essentially lie to our main character Diona about paying her. They get to France, Diona goes with them, despite warnings from people in her country, in her home. She goes, she doesn't get paid, and she's pretty much trapped in the house. There's a lot of exploitation where the people who hired Diona, the Madame and Monsieur, but more importantly Madame, are exploiting her. They're not paying her, they're making her work, they're making her stay in the house, to be a housemaid, a house servant, to help their children, to generally just do everything they need her to do, to cook, to clean. But it's a lot of forms of domestic slavery. It is a lot of sort of forced work. It's stuff where she was promised payment, she didn't get any payment, exploitation there immediately, and they further take advantage of Diana. Because she knows no one in this country, she knows no one in France, she is like pretty much forced to stay in the situation. And ultimately, at the end of the movie, it leads to her not knowing who she is, but also being civilly disobedient, and ends up ending her life towards the end of the movie. We can see this exploitation at the 27 minutes and 42nd minute mark, and we see this also between that and the 29-minute and 50-second mark. Here, Diona is picking up and cleaning the house. She's looking outside to France, and she's commenting on everything. Outside, we can see it's vast and dark, and not really anything. It looks like a void. And as she's talking, she seems to be questioning what she's doing here. And we see that how being trapped in this house, being exploited and taken advantage of, Diona has become very depressed and very sad. She is becoming more civilly disobedient, but she's also becoming negatively impacted us in a very major way. The once sought-after dream of living in France has now only left Diona alone and sad, questioning what it's all for and who is she even beyond a cook and a maid. We see racism here with the clear difference with how the white people in this movie treat themselves in accordance to Diona, who is the main black character in this movie. Diona hardly speaks, if at all, when she is in the house as a maid. She is frequently demeaned, especially by Madame, for being lazy and not doing her job ever, even though she's not being paid at all. At the 12-minute and 42-second mark, we can see how at a party that the Madame and Monsieur are having, that they have other friends with, another white Frenchman kisses Diona on the cheek, and Diona is very uncomfortable, but everyone else laughs. This shows how there's a general theme of Diona being a servant to these white people. She is seen as below them because she's a servant and she's being treated poorly. And there's further other racial things where people at this dinner party are saying bad things about Africa, saying assumptions because they don't know that much, but they are assuming things because they were the once colonizers, and saying how bad or dangerous Africa is as a country in front of Diona. Critiques. I believe this movie is very effective at showing these themes of racism and exploitation upon other things like civil disobedience. I think for when it was made and for who made it and for what they had to do to make it, I think it did a great job. And I think it's great for what the time frame it was made in. Overall, if you ask me to compare it to other movies, I think the ending could have used a very different ending. At least that's in my opinion. I believe there could have been an ending that deserves something that's different, that's more in line with a positive ending for Diona, to show that Africans and other people who are under post-colonial stress can fight back against these once colonial powers and these people who oppress them. That's all I have. That's all the time I have. I hope you liked it.